So is this weird for you? Because it's weird for me. Anyway, welcome to Z Reviews, and I'm your host, Zeus Pantera. Yes, this is what I look like. You should have known this if you watched any of my footage from Munich or Exponent or any of those other things. This is Epic Score, so we could technically leave it running if the song doesn't end. So I was going to make this video specifically about Eris 1 year on. The anniversary of Eris going on sale was June 16th, 6/16. And I was like, ooh, yeah. And then now it's the end of August, and I'm recording it, and my computer's broken, the whole thing. So instead of just focusing on Eris, which I will talk about Eris 1 year on, I'm going to talk about all the collabs that are currently still available and some upcomings. And we'll just have a little chat, because I think it's been long enough now that we can kind of have a real conversation, and I don't have to hold back on anything. So let's get into it. Strap this bitch to my head. Play the epic score music. And let's get on. So, before we talk about Eris, which is currently blasting epic score music, the other collabs that you, not that one, can still purchase, because we lost a couple good ones. We lost a couple big boys this year. Rinko is no longer sold. And here's my set, my personal set that I keep on a really nice effect audio cable. If you are a fan of the render tips, my foam-filled silicone, those are pretty much out of stock. The manufacturer either decided not to continue or is doing something else. So that's going to come back with a version 2 that's going to be a wide-bore render. But they're going to sound different, and since we haven't gotten any samples, I can't tell you if it's going to be the same or different. It's probably going to be different. So we've lost Rinko, we've lost the render tips, we lost the Chimera cable, which was my original headphone upgrade cable from Let's Shore, because we also, I think this year, got rid of the Z12s. Those things sold out. To my surprise, you can still get the Z-tuned Nanas, which are my Chimera collab, which unfortunately is at its full price and only available directly from Chimera themselves here for $950. So I was ready to write these things off, but boom, there they are. And I just got to give a reminder that the JoJo fucking exists. The JoJo. The JoJo. The only caveat is you can no longer get it with this beautiful pink cable. It comes with just a standard white cable now. But the JoJos themselves still exist. They're still amazing. $50 dynamic IM. So I got $50 IM and $1,000 IM. And I don't think I need to tell you about DEFIANT, because DEFIANT has sold 4,000 sets. 4,000! And that was like a week ago they told me that, so it could have sold more than that now. And thank you all for whoever participated in purchasing the $100 Defiance. The flare cable that it comes with will soon be swapped over. The green sets will come by default with this gunmetal bronze. And you can separately buy the flare cable for $40, which is a 2-pin interchangeable head cable that comes with a 3.5 and a 4.4. And I kind of convinced them to make a headphone variant of that. So you get a dual 3.5 on a slightly longer version. This will also eventually be in either the rainbow, candy, or gunmetal bronze. And they've also come out with the $10 USB-C adapter so that you could, if you buy this, it's $40. If you buy it with the USB-C, it's $45. If you buy this alone, it's 10 more bucks. And if you buy the headphone cable, it's $50. With that thing, it'll eventually be $55. So this is all like the modern happening, things are going down, Defiant and Flare. The keyboard, did you know that there's a keyboard? You don't have keycaps? Well, keycaps. These are the Z Reviews Rinko keycaps. So even though Rinko, the IM, is gone, the Rinko keycaps live on. And what a pain in the ass it was to get her to look right. Well, links, by the way, to all these. I do have a link tree that is just all my collaborations, and I do need to get in there and update it now that I know where these are sold and where these aren't sold, and I got to add this to it. This one kind of failed. This was a failed collaboration, and I'm sad because DD Hi-Fi is one of my favorite brands. That's a DD Hi-Fi stand holding a Princess Pasta Audio RI Italian-made XLR cables, which I'll link to Princess Pasta's web shop. She is the exclusive North American dealer of the Italian RI cables, which they sent me samples probably a year and a half ago, and I told Mandy to reach out to them, and they were like, we like your style. I'm trying to do an Italian accent, even though I'm Italian and I'm somehow speaking Russian. We like your style. You could be the exclusive North American dealer of cables. So if you want those, links in the description for that. So DD Hi-Fi and I was like, hey, you have these 5 things that I bring to shows all the time. And nice bags. Can you put these in this and sell it as a collab? And they agreed. So it cost them nothing. There's not even rebranding. They just took the price. They chopped like 20 to 25% off of every one of those adapters. And that $80 bag, which I think is the real problem here, is people don't want the $80 bag. If it was $100 for all 5 of these, it would have sold more. But it's $180 for the whole set. And only available, unfortunately, on AliExpress. That was the only way they can give me the commission I wanted. So if you bought that, there's 6 of you. Thank you so much. If it's not available anymore, I am upset and sad. I have like 1 or 2 still lying around here. So that's basically all the non-headphone collaborations, I think, that are still running. Valencia. You see it every video. Orchard Audio and I have put out the only, I'm going to say the only that's available, and just you can correct me, dedicated headphone power amp. And this just sits here being 17 watts a channel, and then you feed it whatever you want. So in this case, it's the FIO K15, or I could run off the RME into this. And this is the Golden Sound Wandla stack going into that. So that's my big boy collab. That's a $2,000 amplifier because tariffs and things. Well, it's made in America, except for the case. The power supply, I think, is Taiwan. But the boards and everything internal and the screws, and it's all American made. It's assembled in, is it Arkansas? I think it's Arkansas. So yeah, and I've custom done those. So if you're looking for the end game power amp for your headphones, boom. Oh, MAGIA cable. So if you want to spend a lot of money on a cable, on a good headphone cable, you get a MAGIA cable. It has like 26 5-star reviews. Everybody loves it. I love the fact you crumble into a ball, and it's just, it doesn't care. And then you just go with that, and then it's perfect. And it comes with all sorts of different ends and connectors and 3.5s, and you can get it in Sennheiser. Just check out APOS. Check out the link to the link tree, and then check it out, whatever it is. So you can spend $40 or $50 on a headphone cable, or $180 on a headphone cable. Both are good, different purposes. Obviously, this one I wouldn't go portable really with. That one is more portable. Are we now done with all of the things? So I'm going to give you a brief little glimpse of the Serene, because she's almost ready. There's a closed back planar, and it's, man, tuning this was unfun, but it's working out because I gave them some instructions, and hopefully this is the final sample that I had to like give my thumbs up on, but I've asked them to fix a couple other things. Like there's a driver crinkle issue because it's a sealed driver, and the wire that was originally with it had microphonics, so I said no. I literally said no. So this will be coming out. This will be under 200. I don't want to specify anything close to that because I actually don't know, because it's 2025 and prices can go up or down depending on what governments around the world decide to do. So, Eris. Now we're going to focus. If you're interested in any of these, please go check. This will eventually be available. Very close back, by the way. Like very, very close back. And it'll be available in different colors, not just purple. This will be like a Crayola box. You'll have like 7 to choose from. Eris. Unequivocally, and this is, I get to be as biased as I want. If you don't want to hear a person on YouTube jacking it to his own music, get out. I've been asked this question since I started reviewing headphones. Oh, Zios, if you were locked in a deserted island and you could only have one of your headphones, which, this one. I have Tungsten version 2 right there. I have Tungsten version 1 there and there. I've got those Fostex headphones that are you can't know about. I've got access to everything. I don't care. This headphone has changed like the way I hear music. I'm gonna go. I told you I'm gonna go fucking nuts, and it's gonna be like a crazy person ranting and raving. Like, did he say he saw Elvis? No. He said he'd like take Eris over any other headphone if he could only have one for the rest of his life. And this is true. And since I sold 1,700 of these, or at least I was paid for 1,700 of them, and they're currently out of stock. Here's another little for the rest of my day. Everything's broken. They're out of stock, and I've asked Linsel, who is my contact that I speak through to Harmonicdyne, are they coming back? And I haven't gotten a response in 10 days. Now, sales have slowed, obviously. It's been over a year. I think 1,700 is a pretty good number, but there are people who are discovering it now or have one and want a second one. And I want to try to make sure that that's going to happen. Like I asked if I could take some, I'm going to be at a SoCal Can Jam, September the 13th and 14th, I think. Maybe. Whatever yeah. And I was like, hey, can you send me some of these? And can I get any more samples of this? And they were like, no, we don't have those. And I'm like, why? And then 10 days has gone by. For those of you who don't know, this was my collaboration. There's a hair on my glass. With Harmonicdyne. Let me do this, because then you understand that it's glass. Because the pictures of this on the internet have been truly just, you can't tell. Like, until you hold them and feel them and like, oh my God, the soft pads and this thing. I've been trying to get Harmonicdyne to sell this part, because it does just pop off if you're gentle enough. I want people to sell this because they're starting to fall apart. This is my oldest set. You know how I know? Because I wrote on it with a marker. Oldest. And I'd love to be able to just offer this as a replacement. You can get the pads, which for some reason are coming like shoved in a Ziploc bag, and I didn't know that. When I asked for extra pads, they usually sent me like a box with them in it. But now it's just like, what? But I was trying to get them to sell this. And they're like, oh, we don't have the raw materials. I'm like, so I'm not 100% sure what the future of Eris holds. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I'm working with Linsel again with this Kiwi Ears collaboration, which, by the way, Kiwi Ears Serene. Can someone tell me what that says? Or I think I've Google translated that, but Eris is by far one of the only headphones. I was going to say but it's not the. It's one of the only headphones that when I listen to it, I am unconcerned about what anyone else thinks, and I know it's the most unique sound. That was the hashtag goals. With Serene, I'm sort of not holding back, but I'm mildly limited by the driver and the fact that it's a closed back and what I could do with the tuning. With this, I got super lucky, and again, a refresher. This is the bassiest headphone that I could make, and it's the bassiest headphone I think you can buy. Like straight out of the box, don't have to you got to do the paper towel mod, or you got to adjust this, or get this certain amp and EQ. Plug it into anything and it works. It's the bass. But it's not just the bass. It has I was talking in the original review about driver break-in and how I said, give it like 50 hours, 60 hours, it'll change. And that turns out to be less important than the pad break-in. The actual, this actual cloth and foam, from wearing it, from sweating in it, from just abusing it, from pressing it down, will change and get thinner and more dense. It actually weighs more. I did a test of Deconi Audio. Dylan from Deconi Audio has got a virgin set of the pads from me. And he weighed them, and he had his own sets, and he's done EQ and measurements. And measurements can almost not pick it up, because measurements are imperfect. We have to say that out loud. Say it out loud. Measurements are imperfect. But there is it delivers the sound. The mid-range changes the way things go from like a compressed to much more relaxed. I have personally switched pretty much every Eris I listen to, and I have like 8 around the house. There's one in every room of my house. But they're all in staging mode. Put some music back on. Hold on, not that one. Staging mode is when you have the Zeos logo on the right, which puts the driver behind your ear and not in front. And At first, I thought this was a gimmick. I did it as it was kind of a gimmick because when I was tuning it and doing the final listening, the last 20 minutes, I had them on backwards, and I really liked them. And then I started listening forward because I want to listen like a proper individual. And when I go to shows, I try to listen to them, show them off in a forward, driver's forward individual. This is real. This is a real headphone. Fuck that. Fuck all that. Every headphone I have is wired right. Is that side is behind your ear. It trims off just a little bit of the highs because you're not getting direct exposure to that driver. It's only like a 1/4 inch movement. If that was on this side, it wouldn't like flip over there. Just whoop, whoop. But the staging and the presentation and the bass, I think, stays the same, but HRTF is weird for everybody. And when I go to shows, because now I have a year's worth of showing these off at Axpona, at Capital Audio Fest, in SoCal Can Jam the first year around. I went to London when they first launched in June of last year. I skipped London this year, by the way, if you didn't see any coverage. This headphone has made me believe, and I should have, from just being a human being on the earth, I should have understood this without having to experience it, that we all hear differently. Because I was pretty sure for about, the first 11 years of this channel's existence that if I hear something a certain way, everybody hears it that way. And that is 100% not the case. Which makes basically headphone reviews almost useless. You have to watch, if everyone was what would have to happen, and I could almost make this happen, if every headphone reviewer or IM reviewer got together and we made up a list of like 5 or 6 bass, not based, but maybe based, but bass IMs and headphones, and we all sat in a room and quietly listened and then gave our opinions, you could then get this sample pack and listen and listen and listen and listen. And whoever you jive with, whoever's description of the sound you jive with the most, would be the reviewer you should watch. Because how I hear something, what I think about Serene, what I think about Eris, what I think about, Defiant and Rinko when it was still available, and JoJo, which is fucking god tier. Buy a JoJo. Is gonna be different. Like fundamentally to some people. It's like food. It's the food conundrum. You give asparagus to one person or what's that thing that tastes like soap? I have like the 50-50 on it tasting like soap. What is the food that... God damn it. Just have to remember one thing. Yeah, that. The little green thing. It's usually an Asian food. If... Turmeric. No, that's not it. If it tastes like soap to me, if the dress is blue and black and not white and gold, that is such an individualized, personalized thing. And I can no longer get upset. This has actually made me a calmer, more understanding individual. I was just reading, because I haven't looked at them in a while, the Linsol comments on the Eris. And it's 67% 5 stars. One guy, it was kind of hilarious, so I'll read the one review. At least the title of it. Big slaps, ! OM Jesus, 15 stars out of 5. Just best review title I've ever fucking seen. Amazing headphones, bass violence, all the bass. Sometimes violence is needed. Finally, a headphones for my 80s metal justice. Yeah, 80s music sounds amazing on this because it boosts it. Holy cow! And then you go and you read the other 7, which are 4, 3, 2, and then there's a 1 star that's just like, he's a dick. Don't listen to him. But I know people who I speak to every day who own Eris, and they agree with my perception of it. That's the thing. I perceive this in a certain way, and they perceive it the same way as me. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe that the soundstage is so wide. I can't believe it does this. It technically never, once you've gotten used to them, I say after about a week or 2 of listening, if you had a problem with the treble and you're wearing them backward, it doesn't bother you anymore. Don't know how that happens. It's not a driver break-in thing, and it's not technically a pad break-in thing. And when I first started using Eris, and I have to remember back to like, not even a year ago, not even June, I have to remember back to December 2023. Because right before Christmas 2023 is when the actual, from the factory unit of Eris showed up at my door with exactly the tuning I had been begging for 11 months. Arguing with them, like, no, do this. Trust me, do this. No, this is what I want, do this. I had a little bit similar to that with Serene, where they told me it doesn't sound like Sennheiser HD620S. And I'm like, good. Why would you want to do that? Well, we measured against the HD620S. I'm like, no. People have some respect for the HD620S. I don't like it. And I literally searched my chats, and it's mentioned, and it's like, yeah, I got this. It's aight, and then I sold it. So I don't want these to sound like HD620S. And when I was arguing with Harmonityne through Linsoul about these, it was mostly about like, hey, I want this tuning, and the bass response is ridiculous. And like, we're scared. It's not normal. We want to play it safe. And I did not play it safe at all with these. And that shows. That's why it stands out. That's why there's no like, what's the alternative to Eris? Just don't. Or go to an IM. I'm very, very confused. If anyone in the comments can please explain to me, why is it that I make a headphone that's like bass focused, like V-shaped bass focus, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is a terrible headphone. People who are doing that. But yet an IM like the Crimson can come out, and it comes with like a bass adapter, and it can be like 25 decibel bass booster. And everyone's like, oh man, this IM is great. Is the IM community and the headphone community that far apart that everyone seems to really enjoy those crazy bass plus like Mega 5 ESTs and those, you name it. Name the goddamn IM that's like a bass monster. And they just keep trying to up themselves. 40 decibel bass shelf. 50 decibel bass shelf. And I come out with a headphone that's a bit bass heavy, and everyone's like, no, it's garbage. It's trash. But it's not, because it's sold, and go look at any of the reviews, and it's people who get it fucking get it. If you don't get it, if you listen to it and you don't get it, I'm trying to get you to understand this from a perspective of, if you don't like it, it doesn't mean that it's bad. I have to do that as a reviewer now. If I listen to something and I'm like, this sounds like shit, I have to really sit down and wonder if, like, is it just me? Or is this actually shit? And that's when I'll usually bring in an external party. I only have a couple friends around that actually understand, like, audio to that level. And I'll loan them something like, hey, try this. Give this like a week. Come back to me in a week. So I would love to see Eris. I need it to come back in stock, because I'm ready to go give a real push with streamers and towards a gaming thing. If I could go back and change one thing about Eris, it'd be the 4.4 connector. I wouldn't get rid of this, but I would have insisted it come with the adapter. Not the one that you can get from Linsoul, by the way, which is that extended straight adapter, which just makes this a giant 3.5 millimeter. I would have done something like what is here on this $50 cable, where you can just pop it off, put a 3.5, put a USB-C. If I can get, first of all, Eris back in stock, and if I can get this into like the hands of certain YouTubers that I think, what's his name? Who's that guy that loves bassy stuff? Yeah, him. If I can get this into the hands of people who are, what I need is your guys' help. All right. This is way too late in the video to even ask for it, but I'm going to ask for it. I need to know in the comments here, who should listen to Eris to promote it? Because we're done with the little circle of DMS, who's now working at Linus Tech Tips. And do you know that? You know DMS moved to Linus? I mean, he's now running the headphone section there with Linus's money, so God bless him. But, his opinions are his opinions, and my opinions are my opinions. But who would best have the newest audience? The most detracted, not this. If you're watching this video, you're probably already a fan of the Reddit audiophile community. You're in the forums. You know what head-fi is. I need this headphone, and eventually this headphone, to go out to people who have never concerned themselves with audio quality before, because those people are probably not going to care if it doesn't follow the standard HRTF and it's a Harman curve. Those people are just here to listen and have fun. And that's when I think we're going to unlock the true potential of broken music. Breached airlock.flac is apparently broken. In other words, if I got rid of this cable, which is, by the way, a lovely cable, beautiful cable. Wish it had interchangeable ends because it'd be so much easier. But if I can get Eris sold with a USB plug and a boom, and it all of a sudden went from a $250, what crazy bass game music headphone and turned it into a $275 gaming headset, and gaming channels got it, and you play any game. Has anyone, please, in the comments, if you've played games with Eris, whether it's in, I should probably put that back on, shouldn't I? Whether it's in focus mode or staging mode. Did I break off all the tabs? Because I have taken this off like 100 times. There's a very specific, click you got to feel for. There it is. Right? There. This isn't even the right serial number. They were all 0193s. But if you've gamed in these in staging mode, which looks like this, or... No, that's focus mode. That's staging mode. You fucking know. People have written complete descriptions, and I will link, by the way, to the forums where the post for this exists. So if you want to write a review, don't leave it in the comments here. Go to Amazon. If you bought on Amazon, go to Amazon. You bought on Linsole, go to Linsole, although really no one's checking Linsole's things. Go to the Hi-Fi Guides. Go to that post. This is too epic of music. It's too epic. Let people understand what these are. Because I don't want them to fade off into obscurity after 14 months of being available. That, to me, no matter how many sold, feels like a failure. I mean, HD6... The scariest part is Harmonic Dyne has discontinued the Zeus Elite. What? Everyone I know who has a Zeus Elite loves it. Why stop? Are you running out of money? Are you out of business? What's going on? So I'm terrified. And I'm going to need the community support to make sure these are still available come the end of 2025 into 2026. I just want to pivot who is buying them. Because obviously our community has saturated. 1,700, 1,800 sets of these have gone out. The serial numbers have crept into the 2000s. Somebody, I think, had 2076 was the highest I've seen. That being said, the first few hundred, they were throwing away serial numbers. Like they weren't passing quality inspection. They were just dumping them. So we've never found 0069. I have one 069. We never found 0069. If your serial number is 0069, you let me know. So, yeah, I need to know who I should send this to. Flossie Carter. Flossie Carter would lose his goddamn mind on these. I have to figure out how to contact him without going through, 9 channels and him asking for, $6,000 to just look at it. So, if anyone if in that community, please let me know, because he would fucking love these. That's the kind of thing. No one in, my chat will be like, oh, well, Flossie Carter did this too, or Marcus Brownlee did. Those are outside of our little bubble, and I need to get these outside of the bubble. I need your help to get them outside of the bubble. I need to know Twitch streamers. I actually sent a set, and I'll link to her channel. Hi, nice lady over there. She's a British painter. She just paints I'm just not going to describe what she paints. You go click the link in the description. But she was sitting on stream with old beat-up Bear Dynamic, I think 990s, old 990s, and I'm like, this cannot stand. So I packed up a box. I paid $100 to ship them to her because Britain is far away apparently, and now she sits there and she just puts her glasses on. She's the only pair of headphones she's ever worn that the glasses are fine. Her glasses can be worn without discomfort. So one streamer I've sent Eris to. Because it's just on stream all the time. She doesn't even link to it. She just a little command, headphones, anyone asks about them, it's there. And I always raid her when I stream on Wednesdays and Sundays. But who else? Who gets the most reach? Honestly, I thought about sending it to any of the Trash Taste boys. The only one who wears headphones on the regular is Joey. He's also Japanese, though, so his tastes in headphones might be towards the treble side. But at the same time, he's half Australian, so he might be like, oh, fucking banger. I'm willing to do it. Maybe I'll message them through Patreon, because I do actually support them via Patreon. But I want normal people to see these, and I want normal people to enjoy them. And I'm running out of personally known, like, hey, favors and do this. So I'm reaching out to the community for this. If they're going to come back, because this could all be a waste of time. If Harmonic Times just decides, like, no, we weren't selling enough fast enough, so we're done, then I'm screwed. Then I might have to go to them directly and offer them a large sum of money to make a final run of Eris. And then I don't know what to do after that, because it's just like, if I pay for them to manufacture 250 extra units, then I have to personally sell that many somehow to make up for that loss, because it will be a very big chunk of change. So yeah, the basic long and short of it is, after a year with Eris, I would change nothing except for maybe I would insist on offering the adapter by default, or have this be an unscrewable thing. The only problem is Harmonic 9, they're not an IEM manufacturer. Like Juzzy was like, oh, we could just make a thing. We could do that. I love these fucking headphones. And I know a significant portion, even if it's only 2/3 of the people who have bought them love them. And the other third are like, no. That's fine. I'm okay with that. If 2/3 of the people who get Eris are fucking enamored by them like I am, that's a win for me, bro. I've actually only seen a handful of them ever sold. My personal swap meet, if you're a supporter for the $15 tier and you're the patronage chat, you get into the lifetime swap meet channel. And I think I've seen 3 Eris go through there where someone's like, I bought them. They're okay. I didn't like them that much. And now there's $180 buy them. And they sell instantly like that. Every time I've gone to a show, here's a fun little fact. Whenever I take these to a show, and Linsel was able to provide me with like 20 samples. So there's support of the trip. Instead of just giving me $2,000 for like travel expenses, they would give me 20 sets of Eris. And I usually have to strip them out of the boxes. I actually have 25 empty boxes back there. 25 empty Eris boxes. I'm going to build a wall. I would go to a show. I put it on the table. I put the show price, which is right there, $220 instead of $250 or whatever it came out to. $220 Eris headphone. Never once did I not sell out. People would sit at that table, and sometimes it would be an older gentleman or so, and they'd put it on, and they would, this is not fancy, and they'd leave. And then sometimes an older gentleman would show up and listen to it and go, I've never heard something like this. Here's your money. It's not an age-dependent thing. It's not like, oh, only the cool kids, bro, went to bass or spot. What these do to sound is like a built-in equalizer that everyone's afraid to do. When you equalize something, when you open up an EQ and drag the bass note up, or you bring the mids down, you're damaging it. And mentally, people don't want that. But when it sounds like this by default, when it sounds as big and wide and impactful and warm by default, it's like, oh, that's just what this is. And I could just run my perfectly clean, flat local equalization and be done with it. Yeah, no, I've never not sold these out. If I brought 100 to some of these shows, I would have sold 100 fucking sets. Eris is a headphone that sells when you hear it. Me talking about it right now, me talking about it in the original video, every time I mention it, means nothing. People are unconvinced. Enough of you have bought it that it certainly paid for like my house's mortgage like for a year and a half. But people remain unconvinced. And when they eventually do hear them at a show, it is literally game over. If I'm doing a movie demo, if I'm doing Oblivion, I love to do that scene in Oblivion with the library where he goes down the rope and then shit explodes and then things are spinning around. People crap their pants and they go, I've never experienced something like that in a headphone. I can safely say, and this is a personal me thing right now, whenever I get a headphone to review, and I've gotten a few, Sometimes I would try to like watch TV or a movie or something not music. And it's always lackluster compared to my giant fucking surround sounds. Got a 150-inch projection screen over there. In case you don't know, actually. Because I don't get out much. Did I just destroy the thing? I did. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I have like a massive... Like that is my theater. That's 150 inches diagonally in Cinescope. And sometimes I sit there and I'll use Eris. Even though I've got Klipsch Heresies and 7.1 and... This is the only headphone I've ever used where I prefer it over my actual speaker setups for content like movies and TV shows. Only one. I did a bout with the Serene the other day. And by other day, I mean literally yesterday. I'm watching Leviathan on Netflix. Which, by the way, Studio Orange. Fucking god tier. And these are... I'm just going to give you the real quick before I even get to the review of them. And I don't want to give the review until I've got a off the factory line set, because this is still a handmade set that they sent me for verification. But this is a sit up straight and pay attention sound. And this is a smoke a bowl and just drift off into holy fuckland headphone. So take your pick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the greatest accomplishment I've made in my entire career. I haven't had much of a career before YouTube and yelling about audio shit. So I could look around and be like, oh yeah, I reviewed that. Oh, I made the JoJo, the little flare cable. Eris is the thing. Eris is my baby. There is nothing more me than this right now in the world. And I don't want to see it go anywhere. So I need your help to keep it going. We need to figure out who, when, where. LAN parties. If I can, again, if they come back in stock and I can start doing things. I want to sponsor fucking what's it called? What's the esports? I want to sponsor esports events. If I can convince Linsol and Harmonic Dyne to throw in some cash and some parts and I could do the rest, this would fucking warp everyone's concept of what is possible. Because gaming headsets, we all know, suck. Like it doesn't even to be the fucking Eris to blow people's minds. But pick a headphone, any headphone, and it'll probably destroy their concept of space and time. It's just that this will do it much harder. So yeah, I don't want to drag on this review. In fact, I probably should have taken notes. I've been thinking about making a video about like a re-review of Eris for months, for probably 6 months. Probably 8 months. When I first launched it, I did the whole series on the tuning of this, and it was like 3 2-hour videos. And after that ended, I went to the first show. I went to London, and it was just endless praise, endless fucking praise on Eris, and people bought I think I had 15 of them for that show, 15 or 20, and they were in the boxes because they got shipped to Elise Audio, which I will link to Elise Audio. Thank you. He's the fucking man. Elise Audio is the man for having Eris in London and doing all that. So when that came out and it sold every single pair, and I remember going back and with Homero, the maker of the Murph ones, and we watched a movie together, holding hands, because that's what bros do. I listened on Eris, he listened on the Murph ones. We watched that movie, and I was never happier that I sold all but my personal set and then went home. I also got COVID that day, so it was not great. But yeah, I'm just here to I'm not here to rub it in the face of everyone who said Eris is shit, because I can believe you. You don't hear things the same. You don't taste things the same. You don't smell things the same. God damn it, it's not coriander. What's that stupid thing that's the green shit they put in food that people say tastes like soap? Echo. What thing tastes like soap to some people?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, some people have a variation in a group of their genes that allows them to taste aldehydes in cilantro, which tastes...
Cilantro! I knew it was a C.
I'm trying to respond from the right place. Was this the device you expected?
Yes.
Great.
Always answer that question. She's British, by the way. Yeah. These might be the cilantro of headphones. Wow, put that on the box. This whole bass violence necessary for change. God, the dust. I guess it is in my basement in the floor. Hold on, let me. The cilantro of headphones. I actually am a little sensitive to cilantro. It's too much of it. I'm like, nah. But if you don't like it, that's fine. But just be aware. Don't go out. I hate when people listen to them and then immediately start shitting all over them everywhere. Everything. It's like, if you say it's not for me, 3 stars, that's fine. When people say this is a piece of shit, 1 star, I don't think that should apply. But you know what? I can't stop anyone on the internet. Fuck it. It's the internet. Jesus Christ. It's the goddamn internet. So, to wrap up, all of this stuff supports the channel. I don't do, pre-roll. Like, hey, everybody, NordVPN. I was watching Internet Historian. No one could beat his ads. I actually look forward to the ads on Internet Historian in incognito mode. So, unless I start doing that to support the channel, this is how you can make sure I keep going. Pick something. Pick the JoJo. I get 10% of a JoJo. That's $5. But it's a $50 IM. It's a single dynamic, and it's really, really small. But it sounds so fucking good. It is probably the IM I'm most proud of tuning. Not the Defiant. Defiant is already selling like hotcakes. And Defiant isn't even like my preferred tuning sound. I just knew what I wanted to make and how I wanted it to sound. Like I've listened to like 6 IMs in the last 2 months that I would probably listen to more than the Defiant because they're more fun. This is actually a little toned down in the fun department, but it's selling like hotcakes. This is a little toned down in the fun department for feasibility reasons, because you'll destroy that planar in your ears if I made it any more fun. And I think it's going to sell like hotcakes, especially in that box, and especially for under $200. This one is my concern. This is what's the quote from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Too weird. Oh, do I have to look this up? Hold on a second. I got to look this up. This has got to be specific. Boom. Thank you, AI overlords, for telling me what it is. Too weird to live and too rare to die. That's what this is. Like, it can't just live. Everyone's trying to kill it. But it's too rare to let it die. Anyway, wallpapers in the wallpaper horde. If that link is broken, by the way, because Firebase links expired on the 25th of August, and it still technically works, and it might be a cache issue, it'll eventually break, and I have to make the links for the wallpaper something else. I have to find a link shortener that lets me change things behind the scenes. Could you stop breaking? Epic Score needs to probably be re-downloaded. It is, I think, technically free, because it's open source music. You could use it anything. Yeah, I lost my track of thought was that thing broke. Damn it, I actually did lose my train of thought. So yeah, just we're done. We're done. Wallpaper, that's right, the wallpaper link. If it stops working, I'll fix it. I can just robotically change everything on every channel, on every video ever. But yeah, please consider supporting the channel via my collabs, because affiliate links are crap in 2025, and Patreon and Subscribestar, I understand more than you know. I have friends, I have family. I know that money and budgets and the economy is goddamn trash right now. So spending, $5 a month on some asshole on the internet, or it's more like $7 or $15, is not really an option for a lot of people. But if you can buy that one-off thing, because I don't sell hats and shirts, I'd rather sell you IEMs and headphones than hats and shirts and fucking bags. And although I was really going to get into merch, and I should still do it, I do appreciate it, because I am living off of your guys' support. And I'm trying to do the solar upgrade, by the way, which is going to cost me like $50,000, because I'm buying all the parts myself and I'm installing all the parts myself. I've got 1,200 pounds of batteries on racks back there that cost me like 10 G's. And I've got $8,000 in solar panels under tarps outside. Because guess what? By the end of this year, that 30% tax credit that we've all loved for like 20 years, the government's just throwing that away. The government said we don't need that anymore. So I need to get my stuff going for that, which is why I'm spending and promoting. So thank you. If you've bought any of these, you are the fucking best. If you bought none of them, but you like the videos and you're done, I respect you and I love you all the same. If you hate, there was a guy who gave me the most mean-spirited comment ever, and I can see when you're subscribed to my channel, like there's a little mark that only I can see. He was subscribed to my channel and literally took a crap right in my face. And of course I responded in a comedic way and took a screenshot, put it on Twitter. Check out my Twitter. You know what, Zeos? Link your Twitter. Actually, you know what? Don't link your Twitter. You know, I linked my Reddit profile in a video 6 years ago, and I got a community guidelines warning for that because apparently I also liked pornography in that. And YouTube's robot was like, well, I went to this link on Reddit for Mr. Zeos Pantera, and there was boobies, so therefore community guidelines. So I deleted all the links to Reddit. So I ain't linking to Twitter either. You'll find me. It's Zeos Pantera everywhere. So yeah, I'm done. She's done. We're done. That thing is on. You know what? Here's my affiliate link for the thing, because I still have a Fosse affiliate program. That is the AH-01A. And all it is this. You could change the style, and it just has microphones. There's no other inputs. You can change the speed. I can make it real slow. Change the sensitivity so that I could scream it and nothing fucking happens. And it's like $40-$50. I have, you were talking about future collabs. I should have mentioned that. Fosse came out with that VU30, whatever it was, 2 years ago. And it was all right. You hook it up to speaker amp. I am currently and have been for over 18 months working on a collaboration VU meter, like an actual VU that will have microphone inputs, that will have fiber optic inputs, that will have USB inputs and pass-throughs, so that you could just plug your digital stuff in, get your digital stuff out, affects the signal not at all, plug it into your expensive stuff, and you'll have cool VUs, which will also be RGB adjustable so they can color match it to whatever your theme is. Because I understand people. I want headphone users to be able to have a cool VU meter, not just speaker users. So eventually that will come out. I haven't heard back from Fosse in a couple weeks on it. So I'm waiting to see an actual sample. That might be 6 months out from this video. Don't hold your breath too hard for it. But I even bought the competition. I bought the knob sound one. It's not very good. So yeah, now we're officially done. That's the only two upcoming collabs I currently have are Serene, and they're calling it the LC40, but I'm going to probably beg them to just call it a thing. Because no one gives a shit about the Fosse AH-01A. This should be like the Fosse, what's the little spirit, like the Tinkerbell. What the hell's Tinkerbell? This is my Tinkerbell right here. That's what that should be. The fairy. Or the nymph. Oh my God. The Fosse nymph. Because it's like a little cute little thing. It's got to go faster than that. Faster. Different thing. Different colors. There you go. That's just blindingly. All right. Thank you all for sitting here for this rant. I had coffee, and I think I said the right words. I'm sure I'm going to rewatch this because I always have to rewatch it to figure out what I got to link. And I'm going to be like, God damn it, I should have mentioned this or I should have mentioned that. And I'll either do that in the comments or in the description. It's weird. My 20-year-old cousin, I asked him what YouTube he watches, and you know what he told me? He said, I don't watch YouTube. I'm not a boomer. And I wept a little bit inside. We're all boomers here. If you're on YouTube, you're a boomer. According to my 20-year-old cousin, you're a fucking boomer. And it's not, you know what the best part about that was, though? Because I probed after that. It's not like he's like, well, you should be watching Instagram or you should be watching TikTok. He goes to the gym and goes outside and does things. He watches anime, he streams anime, but it's like, he doesn't watch YouTube for entertainment. So there's hope for the future. As much as AI is going to bring down the death of humanity, I think modern kids, anyone 20 and younger who lived through COVID, who experienced that being compressed into a little space for a year and a half, 2 years, and then finally being set free, they might actually just want to go outside and do things and not be attached to computers and fucking phones. Freedom to not technology. So and especially because when I was younger, being on the computer meant I was the elite hacksaw, and parents didn't know what that meant. Now, everyone who's 30 and 40 years old grew up on computers, so they're not cool anymore. Nothing's cool in technology. You can't have a better scenario for the youth of the world, not even the country, the world. Just be like, nah, fuck that tech. I'm going to climb a mountain. Can't wait. Can't wait. I'm willing to see that go down. If I have to lose profitability and views because the youth is actually going out and doing shit, holy fuck. I wished upon a star. So now that we're done with that, I never noticed the Where Love Goes, So Do I on this. Although it's just a fucking cheap masking tape sticker on my $1,000 headphones, IMs. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. Grab yourself a MAGIA cable. Grab yourself a flare cable. Soon to be available in both colors. And yes, the flare is named after the flare from Redo of Healer because they fucking Moondrop stole my name. I was going to call it the Illustrious. And they had released a giant flagship like 3 days before. So I'm a little bitter, but not much. So yeah, wallpapers, if you can still get them, I'll make sure you can. Keep an eye out for Serene. Keep an eye out for the VUs. Keep an eye out for the new render tips. I think we've covered it all. And I will link this page in the description so that everyone can go. And I'll update this too. Look how basic it is. Support the channel, buy a collab. The end. And I'll see you all for the 2 years with Eris. Let's look forward to June 2026. And maybe they're still for sale. And maybe they've sold 1 million of them. And everyone fucking loves it.